Welcome to another History Wanderers video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the aerial minefield, which is also known as the sky minefield. The official code name for it was the Unrotated Projectile, or as the Royal Naval crew just called them, UP rockets. Right, this was a concept that was proposed by Alwyn Crowe, who was the director of projectile development establishment at Fort Halstead. Now, he just happened to be a very good friend of Winston Churchill. So, what was the aerial minefield? Well, basically, he developed boxes that weighed 4 tons. Each of these boxes held 20 hollow tubes. And inside these tubes were fitted rockets which were 3 foot long, which is approximately a meter. And the idea was that when an aircraft came close to the ship, they fired the 20 rockets into the air at a fixed altitude, which was normally about 1,000 feet, which is about 1,500 meters. A small charge blew the canister apart. Once the canister had been disposed of, 3 parachutes deployed, and hanging from underneath the parachute was a small mine, which then had a wire running all the way back to the ship that had launched the mine. So, the mine's hanging in the air, the aircraft that are attacking the ship fly through the wires snag part of the aircraft, run down till eventually the mine connects with part of the aircraft, bringing it down. That's the theory. However, there were a few problems. First of all, when the rockets were launched from the ship, 20 rockets being launched all at once made big flashes all over the decks of the ships. So any aircraft approaching could see that the aerial minefield had been deployed. 20 small charges in the air exploding showed the attacking aircraft exactly where the mines had reached altitude and at what altitude the minefield was at. And then finally, the 3 parachutes were totally visible also. So attacking aircraft tended to just circle and wait for the parachutes to descend, or just simply fly through, seeing the cables and avoiding the cables. They also forgot that what goes up must come down. And the fact that they were deploying 20 mines per launcher, and HMS Hood had 5 of these launchers, 1 on top of B turret, 1 forward, 1 aft on port and starboard. So that's 5 launchers, so that's 100 rockets. So even if half of them miss, that's still 50 small mines landing all over the ship that launched them. They actually did a trial with dummies for Admiral Tovey and Winston Churchill, and Admiral Tovey laughed and Churchill was embarrassed by the fact that the dummies landed all over the ship and tangled all in the rigging, the mast, the weapons, and also the men who were supposed to be on the deck. This really was a bonkers idea, and from 1939, at the start of the war, through to 1941, when they were all taken off after the sinking of the Hood, not one enemy aircraft had been successfully brought down. Now, when you consider the reloads of this weapon were kept in metal boxes of 60 of these projectiles, in standard metal boxes with no protection from heat. So any type of fire and they just go up. And more Royal Naval personnel were killed by these than any enemy aircrew. So sometimes weapon development seems like a good idea and can be pursued to become a very effective weapon. But in other cases, the guy who's come up with the idea should simply patted on the head and told, yeah, that's a good idea. Now just go back to the pub and have another glass of whiskey. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please ring that little bell and put up your notification. And if you've anything to say on this video, please leave a comment. And in the meantime, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening and goodbye.